Hello, everyone. My name is Monique Hawks, and today we'll be talking about the future of AI. To go over our overview, first, we'll talk about what is AI, then, we'll discuss its key trends, benefits, and challenges, the general policy around it. Then, we'll go a little more specific and talk about Louisiana policy, which is where I live. We'll go even more specific and talk about my workplace and the current application of AI. Then, we'll think about what is the potential application in my workplace. And then, finally, we'll conclude. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is something that has found its way into multiple parts of society. By definition, it's simply an umbrella term for modeling capabilities, but truly it helps recognize certain patterns so that human life becomes a little bit easier. Now, human like reasoning is the key word here. It's supposed to be human like. It's not supposed to replace humans, but it's supposed to help with certain capabilities. The algorithm that pursues a goal, that's where the patterns come in. Because AI notices certain patterns, it can help get to certain goals a little quicker than if it was just a human being working by themselves. Intelligence augmentation. This means in partnership. There is no AI without human beings, and so the intelligence of human beings does rely upon AI working properly. Automation is another key piece of AI because it allows for certain tasks to be done automatically. It can save humans a lot of time when done right. The Office of Educational Technology offers 7 recommendations that I see as the key trends for artificial intelligence. The first being emphasize humans in the loop. That seems to be a very key trend that humans are always supposed to be at the center. Our stakeholders are supposed to be at the center. That's the only way that artificial intelligence can work properly is if humans are constantly in the loop. The second is that you align your AI models to a shared vision. You are supposed to direct AI in the way that you want it to go. So you should have a vision already before using AI. The third, design using modern learning principles. The theme here is that we are marrying AI with some of those modern human things that we already use, and we're just using AI to amplify it. The fourth, prioritize strengthening trust. There is a lack of trust when it comes to AI because people do feel like you're trying to replace me. But in reality, we are just trying to make it better by using AI. Fifth, inform and involve educators. As an educator myself, I know how important it is to simply just ask educators, what is it that you want? And from there, you can guide whatever it is you're going to provide them because you know it's something that they will use. The sixth, research and development should focus on context. I want to start with this piece first. Context is very important. Artificial intelligence is just that. It's artificial. There is no context unless we as the humans provide it. So with research development, we can make data better by providing context. There's also trust and safety. We have to keep students' data private. We have to keep educators' data private. We have to ensure that this trust that we're strengthening, it really is going somewhere because we're keeping their data safe. And seventh and finally, we have to develop ed specific guidelines and guardrails. There are things with AI that can be applicable to the entire country, but we need to make it just for education because it looks very different in the education world. And we want to make sure we are really, really accomplishing the goals that we set out. While AI is not perfect, there are still many benefits to adopting it in our educational system. The first is with learning. Adaptivity is all the rage right now, as it should be. We need to be meeting students where they're at. AI can help in giving that personalization, intelligent tutoring systems, accommodations at a simple command. Collaboration is also very important nowadays, and AI can contribute to making learning more social, making it more open, making it more creative. All of those things could really help when it comes to our learning systems. Second is teaching. So teachers need more time. There's only 24 hours in a day. There's only 8 hours in a school day. And studies have shown that teachers are spending less time doing direct instruction because they're spending too much time grading or doing other things that a personal assistant like AI could really help out with. Also, when it comes to reflection, when it comes to looking back at what you've done, AI can help with that also. It can help enhance teachers and get their teaching to a level where it's very, very precise. Formative assessments. We need enhanced questions. Students deserve to be challenged. Students deserve to have robust questions that really push their knowledge. Consistent feedback is also something that AI can provide. There are automated essay scorings. There's a lot of different rubrics that can be created. AI can truly help even with our assessments and embedding these things into learning already. Research and development. Research and development have gotten us here with AI. And so we can strengthen context. We can continue to provide more context to the data and to give a human like ability to AI because we are strengthening the context behind our data. And then we're also focusing on neurodiversity. We live in a very diverse world, and it is not smart to just eliminate that because you're eliminating an entire community of people, communities of people, if you don't choose to use AI to focus on neurodiversity. Something I really appreciated about this week's reading, and specifically the artificial intelligence in education reading, is that it acknowledged that there are challenges and drawbacks to using AI. Sometimes AI usage is romanticized. We don't want to accept that there's part of it that could be harmful. And so these are the ways in which that I've acknowledged that AI could be harmful. The first being surveillance. As much as we laugh about, oh, I just spoke about that product last week and now it pops up on my phone, it gets to a point where it could violate basic human rights. And then there is an overusage of what we do and what we say, and we no longer have any privacy. And I don't believe that that's the goal of AI. And we see it sometimes happening specifically in communities of color, which can be very, very harmful. The second is the environmental impact. AI uses a lot of energy. And so it hurts my heart when I see people using it in frivolous ways, using it for social media effects, and not using it for things that could actually push us forward as a society or benefit us. And there are communities now that are in water scarcity because we are overusing ChatGPT and we're not using it for things that we could really need it for. It's just things that we want. Algorithmic bias is a very real thing also. It comes from poor data quality. So I've seen this when I am searching things in AI. They tend to lean towards a certain race, a certain gender, and that just shows me that there is a bias in the data that's being collected. So the patterns that AI are coming up with, they are not representative of a diverse society. Lastly, is ableistic privilege. AI could be used to assist students and people with disabilities, but sometimes it's not. And if we don't have that lens in mind, then we can leave that entire community out. And we really, really need to be mindful of how we use AI because, as the theme of this presentation is, we are supposed to keep humans at the center and keep humans in the loop. As we shift into talking about policy on a general and a specific level, I want to start with these four key foundations of policy and ethical policy when it comes to AI. The first is the theme of this entire presentation, which is center people, not machines. It's very important when writing policy that you think about, what do people need? Not what can machines do, but what do people need? The second, advance equity by addressing algorithmic bias. It is the responsibility of policymakers to write policy that holds people accountable to ensuring that the data is representative of the society that we live in. Third, ensure safety, ethics, and effectiveness. That's also the responsibility of policymakers to make sure that people are being safe and keeping things private and making sure that everything is running effectively. Fourth is promote transparency. In this introduction of AI into society, it's very important to build trust that you're transparent. That's the only way that I found in relationship building that you can build trust, is that when you're transparent and you say this is everything and you're not hiding certain things from people or from society. What I can conclude about the current policies when it comes to AI is that AI is moving faster than a lot of our state departments, a lot of our national departments, and there's a lot of catching up to do. So, specifically, more than half of the nation's largest districts have yet to even publish a policy surrounding AI. And 24 out of 41 state education departments, they have released guidance, but that's still only a little more than half. And I feel like that's a big problem because AI is not stopping. AI is here. And so the fact that a lot of these states have not taken a second to think, hey, how do we change our policies to align with AI, shows me that this could be very dangerous. It could be very dangerous for our schools, for our children, and there could be a misuse of AI. There are also national policies like FERPA, the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, and IDEA, Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, that they simply haven't updated those policies. There needs to be a conversation had. It needs to be brought to the table. We need to discuss, how do we ensure that our families and our students with disabilities are protected when it comes to AI? That's very, very important and should not be taken lightly. What I can say is that there is one policy in place, and it is the blueprint for AI Bill of Rights. And so that is important to note, that there is something in place that gives a blueprint. But I'm going to be honest, I've known about AI for a long time, and this is my first time knowing about the blueprint for AI Bill of Rights. And so I think that says a lot about the policy education and what's being put out for us to consume when it comes to AI. And so this is something that I definitely believe deserves more attention. Now, although across the nation it's not widespread that policy is embedded into a lot of these state departments, I will say that Louisiana seems to have begun to do the work of releasing guidance around AI. This was published in August of 2024, but it's an 18-page guidance resource, and it just discusses policy, it discusses integration strategies, and I think it's very good for it to be there as an umbrella for the rest of the schools in Louisiana. There also was a Louisiana Believes monthly call. This was published in May of 2023. And similarly, it addresses different AI policies, but also specifically cybersecurity. And I think it was really cool that it addressed some funding programs, because sometimes AI isn't always accessible to schools in Louisiana because it's a very low income state. So it was very nice to see that Louisiana had placed certain things for educators to look at when it comes to funding these programs within their schools and bringing AI and making it equitable. As far as LSU, which, grateful to be going to this university because they have talked about AI integration. It was published in 2023. There is a working group. It's a part of the Academic Integrity Toolkit, because I do believe that at a certain point, people have started to use AI to do their work for them, let's be honest. And so we need to make sure that there is a certain level of integrity where we're using AI to assist us, but we're not having AI do our work for us. Now, to go even more micro, I want to talk about the current application at my Louisiana charter school. So, as of this August, my CEO sent out an email, and he basically told us that we have free access to Magic School AI, which is very groundbreaking, because this is the first time that my CEO has ever announced any form of AI implementation into our schools. He did say that more training would come, but as of today, September 27th, we haven't received any more guidance on Magic School AI, which I am interested to see if they do provide us with that more guidance, because I know there's a lot of teachers in my school that won't use it simply. But if they were to use it, they would be able to use it for task automation. There's a lot of grading that could be assisted with at my school. I talk to teachers who really need help with grading. Lesson planning, getting creative with your lesson plans and the different types of rubrics that Magic School AI can create, and the prompts and the icebreakers. There's a lot of things that Magic School AI can help with when given the right prompts. Lastly, it can just serve as a personal assistant. That's how I see it, at least. It serves as an assistant that educators need, but sadly we won't get. We won't get a human assistant. So in order to help us through, in order to keep us in the classroom, because there are a lot of teachers that experience burnout, in order to keep us in the classroom, we need help. And this feels like the first way to truly, truly help us through all of this. So like I said, I hope that there is more training on it. There's more guidance so that teachers can really make the most out of it. Even though Magic School AI is a great start, I feel like there's a lot more potential to be had in my school when it comes to AI. The first being AI literacy. I alluded to this in the previous slide, but I do believe that there's a lot of teachers who, while Magic School AI sounds nice, they haven't received the training that they need to truly be literate in AI to know how to use it properly. So I feel like it is just being unused. Um, Versatile professional development, it could definitely behoove us to have professional development surrounding AI because AI is here. So we might as well learn how to use it. Personal interventionists, it could definitely help our intervention program. Currently, I'm the only interventionist in middle school for 6th through 8th grade. Students need way more help than just what I can offer. And I genuinely believe that if we use AI as a personal interventionist for each child, that would just be amazing. Lastly, it can revolutionize project based learning. If given the right tools, when we teach students how to use it the right way, it really can help students become even better at project based learning, which transfers to the real world and then being better citizens in the future. In conclusion, AI is meant to enhance human ability, not replace it. And I feel like that's the biggest misconception of AI from people that I talk to, things that I've seen on the internet. That's the biggest misconception is that AI is supposed to replace humans. That is not the case. It's supposed to enhance all of our capabilities and just make things easier. The second is that it needs to be used in moderation. We are learning about the environmental impact right now, but we are going to see a drastic change in our environment if we don't decide to start using it in moderation. I would charge a lot of our social media apps to stop using AI as a part of their features because to me, that's just a waste of AI. AI should be used in schools, it should be used to help in engineering. I don't believe it should be used for frivolous fun things. And so I think using it in moderation makes it that more impactful.